Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing my weekly review for this week's episode of Game of Thrones Season 6. This one's for Episode 4, Book of the Stranger. So, spoiler warning, if you guys have not seen the episode yet, this was another great one for Game of Thrones, man. So many cool parts in this one. Going from Ramsay, who is like the Game of Thrones troll, dude, who's like, come at me, come and see, bro. That's why I just saw his face, and I'm just like, oh, man. You know, with that smile he's got, it's like, he is a Game of Thrones troll, man. He is Warden of the North, all this kind of stuff. Well, I guess Jon should be happy that he didn't start sending him body parts and stuff like that. Because, you know, at this point, as we saw with Theon there, arriving back with his to see his sister, see Yaara again. Luckily, you know, Rickon is still, it seems to be 100% intact so far, depending on how long they take. So this episode, really great, man, especially the beginning, seeing Jon and Sansa kind of reunited back together again, and they're setting up what is going to be the battle with Ramsay, and of course the wildlings, and kind of the joint forces at this point. Like, you have Jon, you have his kind of entourage now, which is a nice mix. It's pretty blended. You have Brienne, who of course is loyal to Sansa, and I love the sequence where she tells Melisandre and Davos that she killed Stannis, and it was so weird to see it, because it's like all series we've been watching it from their perspective, and they were with Stannis all the way through and advising him and everything, and then you have Brienne, who's in another spot, and then this time they come face to face, but it's like, you know, Renly's dead at this point. It doesn't really do any good for her to you know, to do anything in that situation, but she still kind of comes over and wants to clearly let them know who she is, and that she actually was the one who finally executed him and did do it. So that was a really, really cool scene, as well as you know, the hug between Sansa and Jon, because it's been, you know, since the first, like, was it the first episode of the whole series? I haven't watched season 1 for a couple of years now, but like this has been like over 5 years now, season 6, season 1, since they've seen each other, and to finally see them see each other again was a really touching and a great scene. Same with Theon and his sister, but that one, of course, is a little bit more darker, because Reek is different. Is a different man at this point, if you want to call him a man without his. So brutal. But I did like that sequence too, even though she was mad at him because people died when she tried to rescue him, and he couldn't bring himself to leave because he was paralyzed by fear and was not ready for her to arrive and to come, didn't know that she was going to do that, and of course she had to leave without him, so it was a bust. Crazy stuff. But you know, I was happy for him that he finally got back there. I was happy for Sansa that she was able to, you know, just to be safe. It's kind of like, for now at least, Theon seems to be okay, unless if Yaara is to control the Iron Island. So we'll see what happens with that, if that actually is what happens, or if, wait a minute, this is Game of Thrones we're watching again. It can't be that simple. It's never that simple. Yeah, so happy hugs and all the good stuff to get the episode started off. And then we have Baelish, who returns, which I love, of course. Always love to see Baelish and never know what he's going to do next. We'll probably focus on that more in the predictions. But I love the face-off between him and Royce, and, of course, Robin there, too. And, you know, Baelish is just, oh, man, he's playing him like nothing. He brings him his falcon. It's like a new toy. It's like a new toy. And then he asks that he basically takes everybody, all the knights, all the forces of the Vale, and takes them off. And Robin's like playing with his new falcon, his new toy. He's, oh, yeah, whatever. What do you think we should do? Oh, yeah, okay, that sounds good to me. Let's play with my falcon. Which was really funny. So I like that face-off scene too. And, you know, always fun to see Littlefinger and what he's up to next. Because you know, as he says, always keep your enemies confused. I feel like I'm an enemy of him as a viewer. I am his enemy. Because I never know what he's going to do. I have no idea what he's doing. He's like, what is he going to do now? I don't know. First he gives Sansa them. And then what is he going to do? And then he comes back and acts like he didn't. And then what? And then he's going to accuse Royce that he told him and everything. Oh, man, so much fun. So can't wait to see him join with the others. Here are our counts. So we got some counts. We got about 5,000 for our Game of Thrones troll, and then come at me, bro. And then we got Take turns. My men are gonna take turns with her. Oh my god, terrible. He's the best villain in the show. Yeah, I think so. I mean, Littlefinger's an awesome villain too, and very psychological. But Ramsay is so classically evil and sadistic. It's just hard not to appreciate how awesome of a villain he is. He enjoys it so much. He's like, he's so brutally sadistic. I almost think he killed her just because he wanted to do it himself. He just he's so sadistic and he just loves it so much that he could just have ordered the wildling girl. Of course, I don't even remember her name at this point. I don't care, to be honest. He could have just ordered them to kill her. But no, he wants to do it himself, just because, whatever. But luckily, Rickon seems to be all intact, 100% still, so it's good. So really excited to see when they join up, 5,000 for a troll and 2,000 plus the Knights of the Vale. Might make this an even fight. I'm not sure how many knights they have, but it seems like to me it'll probably be pretty even, and it should be a great fight to see. It should be really awesome. So can't wait to see it. That'll probably be our our finale episode for the season, I'm predicting. So again, more for predictions video, which I'll do in about an hour after this one for you guys. So check the channel back if you're watching this after Sunday night. But yeah, I'm thinking that this will probably be like our episode 9 battle. Maybe they'll do it sooner, but it seems like this would be our kind of finale battle. It should be a whole episode fight, so that should be incredible to see, man, for sure. So aside from all that great stuff that was happening there, we had Tyrion, who had some fun talking to our slavers and kind of doing a little Baelish for me too. Don't really see what he's doing 100%. So he's going to allow slavery to continue for a little while, and then he's going to abolish it. 7 years, he says. So interesting as well too, and we'll see what Daenerys thinks of that when she gets back, as of course we know now that she's not going to try to escape or try to run away, but she's going to use her superpowers to her advantage. So they bar the doors, and she sets the whole place on fire, and then she walks out like a freaking dawn. I thought she wasn't doing any more nude scenes, which is pretty sweet. And there's fire everywhere and CG, and everyone's like, oh my god, we're going to kneel because she's so hot and naked and in fire and stuff. That's what it is. So you remember that. It's like, it's like one of her superpowers, so to speak. So it was cool that she was able to use that in a way where at first I didn't think about what is she going to do? I couldn't quite figure it out. And then I saw her go over the fire, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then she just lights the whole place up. So that was a great, really cool view for sure. Full frontal. Zoom out. I mean the fire. And then everybody all around it. So she's added to her forces, it seems. She turns a bad situation into a great situation. And it looks like she's gonna take control of the Dothraki now, which should be pretty awesome to see what she's going to use them for, what she's going to do with them. So she's just becoming more and more powerful as the show goes on. And I still feel like, as awesome as Jon and everybody are, I feel like, they're a group of good guys. They're kind of an interesting blended allegiant force there too that's building. But I feel like Daenerys is our kind of our final good guy that's going to come in and save the day and save Westeros and everything and abolish slavery and take over everything at the end of the series. So that's what I'm thinking. So we'll see how that goes, but we saw an awesome step in the right direction in this episode yet again. So that was really cool. Other things in the middle, we've got the 7-pointed star stuff, and we've got the High Sparrow doing his thing. So the High Sparrow, so this is something that's pretty interesting, and as he tells Margery, that this is something with human beings that is really interesting, is we're so competitive. It must be to do with our social hierarchy and our dominance hierarchy, which even animals do have as well too. But with regards to him, he tells a story as basically what he's saying, to translate it all down, to keep it most simple, no one's any better than anyone else. So for anyone who's highborn and feels like they're born into a rich family or king, queen, whatever, they're still not better than another just a peasant, right? Now, this kind of strategy or this philosophy or this ideology, it definitely is good for people that are kind of in the peasant class, your regular kind of a peasant class. You have of course your king, queen, your highest class, high class, noble people and families and all that good stuff. And then you have, the majority of people, probably over 90%, are just your regular peasants. They're your regular people. They're not born into a rich, into a high family or anything like that. But there's far more of those people than there are your noble families and that have the money and everything. So the High Sparrow possibly could be using to his advantage all the people there, and as we saw Kevin say in this one, that he may be able to get some more support from other people in King's Landing, especially if they march right in and try to kill him. So he may have something up his sleeve, and he may be able to kind of coerce other people there. Of course, a lot of the peasants there are going to side with him and with the church, because, and this actually occurs too in real life too, and is probably one of the reasons why religions became so widespread, because most people are regular people, and people don't like to feel inferior because they're not born into the right family. So this type of philosophy is definitely going to spread. People are going to like it. They're going to see, like, I feel, and you see this with people all the time in real life too. Let's say they feel like someone's better at something than them. So to compensate, because we're so goddamn competitive, we will, pick out something else we're better than them at. They'll say, oh yeah, so-and-so's good at math or whatever, but I'm better at gym or something. Or yeah, but he's a nerd. He's so, he's not athletic or something. Or so-and-so's fast, but I'm stronger than them. This kind of thing. This is what we do. Even psychologically, we will play this out in our minds. I'm sure you guys have seen this lots of times in real life. You can think of lots of examples of where someone finds out, maybe a friend or something, that someone is better than them or something, or is really good at something. And so they will compensate, and they will say that they're, even to themselves, maybe out loud, that they're, yeah, but that's so-and-so, but he's whatever, he's dumb or something, or he's bigger than me, he's stronger than me, but he's dumb or something. This kind of we're all equal philosophy, which is, I agree in terms of life value, in terms of humanity and life value, we are all equal. People have different strengths, though. But this is something that definitely appeals to people that are in your regular class, compared to kind of your rich Lannisters and Tyrells and everything. So we'll see if the High Sparrow is going to be able to, recruit some more people, and if he's already been working on that and he's got something up his sleeve that we're not aware of. So I'll keep our eyes open for that and what's going to happen with the rest of the season, man. It's so good. That's the second thing. Like, I really am loving to see this battle between Ramsay and Jon and the others. That's the number one. But for me, number two right now, second most exciting, is what's happening in King's Landing, if they're going to just march right in. It looks like they finally got the go-ahead. They finally got together, and they're gonna go after him. So Kevin's going to stand down. Olenna's going to take charge, and she's going to go right through. And I assume Jaime will jump in there too as well. So it should be good. So my goodness, man. Really exciting and a great setup for the next couple episodes, and we see that maybe that will be the big event to tide us over until the Wildling battle in episode 8 or 9. I'm thinking something like that. So we had a funny scene where they're all eating, and they get the letter from Ramsay, and he's like talking about doing a train on Sansa. He's talking about, come at me, bro, and all this thing, and I got all this stuff, and give her back, or I'm gonna freaking flay you and do all this crazy shit and come at me again and stuff. And oh my god, he's just awesome. And so Tormund and Brienne, he's like eating, and he's like looking at her. He's like, it was just, they didn't say anything, but it was just so funny to me. It was just really, really funny. So the final scene with Daenerys and all that was all great too. And Jorah looks like he's starting to run out of time. We know he doesn't have that much longer, but that was an awesome scene too, to end it off with the fire and everything. Really cool. So that'll be my review. I'll do the predictions video in about an hour, guys. Score 8.8 for me. I thought it was another great episode. Maybe one of the best we've had so far this season. Yeah. Some happy moments in this episode, which are rare in Game of Thrones, which is great. And can't wait to see Ramsay get his, and it's just the show to continue and finish off the season strong. Looks like it's going to be one of the best seasons ever, as usual. They always outdo themselves. We know they spent $100 million on it, so it looks like for us. So it looks like it was worth it, because they're really bringing it so far in the first 4 episodes. Amazing series as always. You guys know the usual stuff. Game of Thrones kicks ass. Is what it is. If you guys like this review video, you can check back in an hour for the predictions video for what I think is going to happen in episode 5. And also, please, if you did like it, please thumb it up. Don't forget to thumb it up. You can also share and favorite. And if you're new and you want to subscribe, then please subscribe at the bottom left. I appreciate everybody who subscribes. And send me your questions. You can write them below in the comments, or you can private message them to me, and I'll include them in the Game of Thrones Q&A this week, which I'll probably do usually Tuesday. That's it for this video. So you guys get an hour for predictions for next week. As always, it's Trev. I'm saying peace. See you guys later.